painting, I'm letting the artwork dictate where I put the next brush stroke. So even though I may have an outline of what I want to create, I have to see how well the colors work with one another. And it's similar when I'm creating collages, because when you cut the shape, then the shapes have to communicate with one another as well. So when I pick the paint, I'm thinking about which ones are complementary to each other and which ones may have a more dark hue and which may be a lighter hue, because the dark ones push things into the background and the lighter hues push forward into the foreground. So I'm always thinking of what colors to use and in what color schemes and patterns, but ultimately I'm letting a lot of those colors be dictated by the balance of the painting. So a lot of times I don't even really feel like I'm the one creating this stuff. I feel like the painting is already created in the spirit world and is just manifesting itself into the physical world. And it's kind of how I approach my artwork. I feel like the pieces are already created, so I don't want to necessarily rush through anything. And I'm listening to where more color needs to be added so that the painting gets to where it wants to go. So I use a lot of yellows and reds and real vibrant colors like that, because I want the paintings to pop. And then using some blues to kind of push the shadows into the background. And I think every painter kind of has a similar approach to creating. You know, they allow the work to speak to them in a way that probably they can only hear it. And when it comes to the collages, since it is a more limited palette, I use more of the harmony of balance. So some areas may require more gold to catch the light. Some areas may require more of the silk. But I think ultimately the purpose of creating is to pay respect to the ultimate creator. So in a way, it's a technique I've developed to bring me closer to the divine creation that exists in me. So I'm not a very religious person at all. Don't really attend church. I wouldn't say that I pray in a traditional sense of the word. So this is the activity I engage in when I'm focusing on those spiritual aspects of life that need to be tapped into in order for us to really find fulfillment as human beings. And that's one of the reasons I created the City of Gold, is because it's a place that no matter if you're perfect or not in this world, is a place that I consider paradise. I especially like painting musicians because it's just another form of art that I've been fortunate enough to practice. And it's kind of the same technique you employ when painting. It's kind of a spontaneous improvising of different notes, and the notes may be notes of red or notes of blue and green, and you kind of use those notes to bring harmony. And without the different notes, you wouldn't have harmony. If everybody played the same note, there wouldn't be any music. I think that's why it's important to me to use a variety of colors. I like to draw inspiration from the city. Yeah, I'm a big photography hobbyist, so a lot of times I'll go out and take pictures of murals, different things around the city that motivate me to try new ideas and challenge myself as an artist. But when I'm working on something large scale like this, I think it's important for me to move around and get an idea of the big picture as a whole. So you may see me bounce from one area to another with just one color, because several areas may require that one color. And I guess I don't do much mixing, because I pretty much buy the colors that I want. And we live in an age where all that work is kind of done for us already. We don't have to mix our own pigments. You know, back in the days they used to round up different minerals, rocks, flowers. You know, some people still adhere to those techniques, but I prefer to use the resources available to me. And some of these colors just really beautiful and go on so smoothly. And sometimes I like making mistakes, so I use a brush that may be too big for a certain area, and then just go back over it with a smaller brush. Because like Bob Ross says, you know, you got to make some happy mistakes.